Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM20. It's career mode. We're on episode 172. We're at the most well-timed event of the year, but also our most challenging event of the year. It's the Giro d'Italia. We're already on stage 2. Stage 1 was just a simple sprint stage. It's not the 2021 version that we are involved in today. It's an alternative version. It's a major sponsor objective. The objective is top 5. Last 2 years running, we've gotten in the top 5, but we've done it with Pavel Rodriguez, who we don't have anymore. Last year, he even got up onto the podium after a 4th place the year before. So with 21 kilometers to go on this stage, it's been flat throughout the day, but we're about to get into the climbing. So we need to get through this first climb and hopefully still have all of our guys close to the front. They'll have a short amount of recovery time before we then proceed into a final punchy climb on this one. Main objective on a day like this, not lose time. Now, without Rodriguez, we run into one serious issue, being that I really don't have a top guy. We have, for those who are just coming back, maybe because of the Giro and haven't seen the series in a little while, without Rodriguez, I've added a lot of depth at the top end. I now have 6 riders on this team that are at a 77 or better overall, but none of them are better than a 78. So we have a lot more leaders than we've had in the past. We have a lot more options. We have a lot of depth at the top. And this entire group, all 8 of them, are good climbers. There's no issues with this squad. But the problem is we don't have that top end. We don't have that one outstanding guy that you could just rely on and then pour everybody else into supporting them and then go off and win a tour. We're not going to win any Grand Tours this season. I do not think that we're going to even come close to doing that. We might even struggle to get in the top 10 for this tour, the Giro. But speaking of, let's go ahead and do what we can. So I have options, and that's also scary because that's a difficult prospect. You can't pour 7 riders into supporting one when I don't know who that one is, who's that strongest. We'll take a look at these guys in just a second here. Johnson is not that guy, absolutely not that guy, but he's a good climber. And today, with a +4, he is looking pretty fantastic. I'm going to put him on the back end because I think late on I can move him to the front and be pretty effective. But the 2 primary leaders we have are Hillary Breck. He's got that 81 mountain. He's 75 hills. He's a 76 time trial. So he's got the makings of being a Pavel Rodriguez. But he's not good at a sprint. He's very slow. He's not good on the flat. And his resistance is very low. The stamina's okay. It's manageable. It's serviceable. The recovery's good already, a 77. But it's honestly, it's just the resistance. I can do with the rest. The downhill's not great. The sprint's not great. I can get by on that. I can make that work. But that resistance is just too dang low. And then we have AFP. AFP, only a 78 in the mountain. But then he's an 82 time trialist and a 74 resistance and a 75 recovery and has good acceleration and good downhill. And so he's all the things that Breck is not. But the thing that Breck is that AFP is not is a strong climber. So when it comes to the big climbs, AFP is bound to lose time. And so where do you go? Who do you go with? AFP is going to last longer, but he's just not going to climb at a good enough pace, so the hard climbs are going to destroy him. That's a problem. Try to ride for both. Okay, well, but now all of a sudden I'm down to 6 riders riding for 2. That's harder. It's hard to have co-leaders. Here's where it's both good and bad for us. Like AFP and Breck, Kolda is a 77 overall. He's got the recovery, so he's built for Grand Tours. He's got an 81 mountain, but he's not a good time trialist. He's got much better resistance than these guys. So is he the one we ride for? Because literally all 3 of these guys are 77 overall. Our 3 78s, none of them are at this race. We've got a puncher in Kevin Vermark. We've got a sprinter in McKinney And just leveling up from a 77 to a 78 is Reykjavik. So our other sprinter slash sort of puncher. So our 4th, 5th, and 6th best riders, all at the same overall average, are all here. I have a problem. I have a dilemma in who to go for, because Kolda has 2 of the things we need. But all 3 of these riders have 2 of the things we need, but not the 3rd. And all 3 of them are missing the other one. One's missing the mountain rating. One's missing the time trial. That's Kolda. Really missing. And one's missing the resistance, and that's Breck. Breck also so on the time trial. So it's, my goodness. It's like I don't know where to go. And we're going to have to kind of ride the train a little bit, I think, and try to hang on with all 4 of them for now, or all 3 of them, that is, and hope that we still have something left. And then we do have good, solid support climbers. So if we don't overcommit, we're certainly not seen as a favorite in any way, shape, or form at this point. Resistance. Yeah, let's go with Killen first. All right, so David Killen, it's 9K. Let's see what a 93 will do for us. Can you come forward? Here we go. First stage, first chance, and again, I don't want to just emerge. I'm trying to not lose time. I'm not thinking about a stage win right now. I'm thinking about not losing time. Cool, Gel, already down to 7K now, and we are in control, and we're starting to climb. 6.6. Have to push a little bit harder here, Killen. Let's watch Johnson from the back and see. Here comes the push from Away Duel. That's your puncher going for it. 5K to go. Killen can push a little bit harder here. And there's Duel's challenge already averted.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just
Talipov,
passed the 5 kilometers
Millar, Gel. We're hanging on for now. We're staying near the front. This is good. So far, so good. 4K to go. Okay, on to Talipov. Also, we're about to hit the top on this thing. To back down the order a little bit. Johnson, I think, can now make his way up past these guys and fall in line. Let's see. Can those 2 go off and win the stage? They've opened a gap. Millar. Oh my goodness, Vlasov. That was freaking fast. Gel up.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Okay, Johnson into the sprint. And then, oh gosh, here comes everybody else.
A fall just took place in the pack. Several riders are on the ground.
AFP's going to gain 4 seconds. I'm happy with that. That's a good start for us. McNulty, Ekoff. Ekoff as a sprinter isn't going to be a threat. McNulty absolutely is. He could be winning this race. But AFP, Breck gets 4th. Zeta is 5th. Whew. Ooh, Duel went down. Crashed right before the line. Yikes.
We're waiting for the tail enders who continue to arrive.
Urbain Charette is a rider that I've got on my dossier for this upcoming season, potentially. I don't know if I'll get into that season or not, but we'll see. Stage 3 is another punchy one. Again, we're looking at just hanging on. If we can gain some time, that's great. If not, that's okay. Main thing is I don't want to lose time. And this is fairly punchy. This is kind of a long climb for this little Cat 2. We got 46K to go, but it's 19.5 kilometers to go to the top of this thing. We've already been climbing for a little while here, so it's a lengthy climb, but it's just not a very steep one. We go under 3% part of the way, and we seem to only be topping out about 6%, but this is right now about tempo, and the tempo is fairly hot. Our 3 leaders are all in good shape today. Kolda on a +1, AFP on a +4, Breck on a +3. Millar, the other leader today, anyway, with a +5. Oh, and he goes down in a crash. Looked like he actually got tripped up potentially by Talipov. most likely, so he's going to be on his own trying to make his way back up. Others crashing. Hopefully we don't lose anyone else. Talipov, meanwhile, is drifting backwards quite quickly because of that pace. I don't need to try to work for Millar. Millar just needs to try to kind of bring it back. I don't want to be sitting on. He needs to be climbing at his tempo to maybe get back up there to be of some sort of help. Talipov, he needs to gel up. Johnson and Killen need to gel up. Kolk is still okay for now, and these guys are all holding near the front. Talipov kind of holding where he ended up at. And Millar climbing at this pace is just fine, but he's on the verge of definitely losing some time. So we need to speed up a bit. 6K to go to the top. Talipov, go just a little harder. He's 78 mountain, but he's on that -2 today, and you're clearly seeing the impact of that. Peloton very, very strung out. Millar's certainly leaving some riders behind, but he has not made up a lot of ground. We're going to have to start pushing this a little harder here. It's 3.7. Talipov recovered some ground. We've got Killen, Johnson fading, but these guys are doing fine as we approach the top.
Another attack in the leading group.
Go ahead and make sure, especially on the descent, that we're covered off.
Don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Johnson, Talipov, Killen, and Millar just clawing his way through the field, trying to make his way back up there, but I'm not sure this group will get him back in or not. It's cut off there by Fagione. If he makes it back with this group, can any of them help him get back on? I mean, there's the back of the peloton. He's not that far off now. I'd hate for him to lose time on this stage because of this crash and be ruled out. Well, I have 3 leaders already. And he's not a time trialist, so he will not be a 4th leader. Just let's make sure everything's okay up here. These guys recovering their position. Talipov was protecting somebody, was he not? No, he was the one riding solo.
The pace has slowed somewhat. It's perhaps due to fatigue, but
This is good.
Some sort of tactical choice.
This is good. Pace is lowered. Chance to get back on. There's 2 riders now off the back ahead of us, and then there's the peloton. There's those 2 riders right around the corner, and there's the back end of the peloton. That is it. And Millar continues to push. We've got this descent coming up. He won't have much left in the legs for something after, but if he can get there, he'll still be on same time at least. Very soon I'm going to have to set him to auto and just see what happens. Oh, come on. Seriously? He just crashed for a second time. Don't you dare. Don't you dare be dead. He's alive. And he is now set to auto. Wow. What terrible luck is that?
The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
Millar nearly gets back on and then goes down. 9K to go.
The very fast pace up front. A fall has just happened in the peloton. Several riders are on the ground.
Okay, we got our 3 guys. AFP has best time at the moment. Breck is the punchiest, though. Talipov is supposed to be the other one, but Kolk looks good. No 99, not on a descent. But we need to ease our way forward here. Split in the group. This could be a good thing. And we've hit the bottom, so now we can start speeding up a little bit more. Killen, come on through. Here's the false climb. Or the false flat section, I should say. Ugh, come on. Stefan Kung just blocks us off. Get to the other side of the road. Get to the other side of the road. Come on, Killen. There we go. Alright. 4K. Millar's gone, so he wasn't one of our 3 anyway. 2K to go. This is sprint territory with this many guys. Johnson. Talipov. Kolk. Kolda. AFP. Breck. Just, we're good on time. We're good on time. That's the important thing. We're not punchy enough to necessarily beat these guys. Yermakov, McNulty. Those guys are going to be the favorites. Hagita. They're both back to defend. They were the 1-2 last year where we took third. Bernal's here as well. Yamaguchi's here. Oh, it's going to be so difficult to get a top 5. Martinez, Roglic are here.
The tail enders are still coming in.
I think we're going to have an easier time getting a top 10, but not a top 5. On to stage 4. Another simple, straightforward, punchy stage, but if you quick sim, you're bound to lose time. So we're kind of stuck. When it was Pablo Rodriguez, you could get away with that a bit because he was fairly punchy and strong enough as a GC contender that he would be on the podium most every time, and you could pretty much expect that he wasn't going to lose more than a few seconds to maybe just 1 or 2 riders, and ultimately beat everybody else kind of in that head-to-head. So as we approach the categorized climb on this one, first of 2 actual climbs, we've got 16K to go to the top, and we're just about ready to begin that climb here. We'll see a left-hander here momentarily where we pull away from the ocean and start that climb. Here's a little bit of climb before the climb, but here's the left-hander, and up we go. So 84 might not cut it. Let's go ahead and push that to an 86, and we might want to gel up with a couple of these guys here fairly soon, but AFP's looking good, +4. Breck, +4. Kolda on a 0. Kolda's leadership status a little bit in doubt without strong race day conditions. Meanwhile, of course, Millar lost that 5 minutes, so that's the first of our 8 riders who has eliminated himself from GC contention. But of course, I'm not thinking about 8 leaders. I'm really just thinking about 3, and that's a difficult prospect as it is. But I'm already prepared to bury the other 5 to support the big 3. Kolk at the moment and Talipov at the moment are struggling a bit. So let's go ahead and gel up for those guys. Killen and Johnson aren't going to last a whole lot longer either as we approach. The pace has been really hot on this climb. We've still got 3K to go to the top, but we're really starting to level off here near the top of this climb. As you can see, it's very much not mountaintop finish. It's kind of a bit of a plateau at the top of this thing. Alright, there's the top. We're going to begin our descent. And we're going to do something with this one in just a moment. I want these guys to return to their front position. Johnson and Breck are hanging back a little bit more than I wanted them to be. 24K to go. Damn, I had a plan, but this is not how I wanted that plan to be carried out. Breck needs to make his way through the grid a little bit here. We're going to come up on a slightly flatter section right now. This is our time to do something. So, structure. Okay, Ochoa has apparently just gone down. Breck's the punchier one, so let's get Breck, AFP. Let's get Kolda. We will get Millar. And then, I guess Johnson does not have much resistance to begin with. We don't want to rely on him that far back anyway. And then Talipov. Okay, Talipov's in that front position. Here's why we're going with Talipov first. Not just because he's low on energy. But look at one key thing that Talipov has. What's his best attribute? 83 base downhill. Okay, he's got us up front. He's going to now handle the downhill and increase the tempo. You can see how he just pulled out. Unfortunately, Kolk is not even anywhere near his wheel at the moment, but Kolk's going to have to take over, so we're going to get that happening. 17K. This is still a good distance to cover. Talipov's done. We need to wait for a couple of these guys to squeeze their way up before we leave Talipov behind. But he's definitely losing his time now. There's no way he's getting to the end on this one. 15K to go.
We've got 15
And
kilometers to the
not
finish
much
line.
in terms of uphill. I mean, this is sort of flat. Okay, get Johnson ready. Kolk's going to maybe lose time on this. Killen's going to maybe lose time on this because it's still 13 kilometers. But there's not a lot of climbing left to do here.
The strongest can create some gaps.
Johnson also fading. Moscon maybe going clear here. We got to get to Millar because Johnson just not going to make it. I said auto. He didn't get the message. He didn't get the message. There's the message. Okay, well, shoot. This is dangerous because I got my 3 guys.
10 kilometers
One
remaining.
last section of climbing to do. We'll have to speed up for that part, but Millar's already been sacrificed, so that's not a big deal. $8K, here comes the speed up. So far, just Talipov has been dropped. We still have 100 riders left. But as we come up on the top and 7K to go, I want to start pushing a little bit harder because it's slightly downhill anyway. So Kolda, we're going to push. I don't want him to lose time, so we can't push long. But we'll have AFP and Breck towards the finish, and you can see that did create a large split. I want Kolda now to get on the back. I do not want him to lose time, so we want to use these 3 as a group, as a unit. So AFP continuing that push. 36 riders. We just split the field again. And 2K to go. He's going to lead out Breck. And now Breck for the sprint. Kolda's going to drop back, but he shouldn't lose time. AFP, ouch. What's going on? So slow. Breck's not fast enough either. Yermakov, Pidcock, Barrow. No time gains. But we do cause some time losses out there. And Kolda should still be in contact, hopefully. 29th on the stage. I think, yeah, it looks like they've got 30 in the front group. So hopefully those 30 are all on the same time. No time losses. That'll put us down to just our 3 leaders now. No time gaps until after 63rd. Simon Yates gets same time, even though there was a significant gap after Kolda, well, Persia. But Gegenhardt lost time. Moscon, Carapaz, Millar, those guys all lost time but didn't end up actually losing any time. So AFP sits 6th place overall at this point in the contest. And then 20 seconds is your general distance back to the main contenders. So that's from 9th place down to 37th. So down to 37 still ultimately in GC contention. That's obviously a much larger group than what we'll have before long. But that takes care of a few of those punchy stages. Let's take a quick look at the profile of the Giro and see what is ahead of us. We do have another punchy stage in stage 5, and then on the flat for 6. 7 is the first decisive stage that's really going to split this field with a double finishing climb and a pretty hefty final one. 8's flat, 9's flat, 10 punchy, plenty of undulation. That's going to be a small group finish, but you've got 24 kilometers to the finish from the final summit. And that's going to allow things to come back together quite a bit. 11, flat. 12, that's finally the next decisive stage. So only the second decisive stage of this one comes all the way on stage 12. 13's easy. 14, that's a climbing stage, but that final climb's only going to be so decisive. The 3 climbs leading up to it will hurt the legs enough, though. Time trial on 15. 16 flat, 17 flat, 18's going to be hard. We have done a camp for that one. Same with 19 and 20, though 20 is easy. I don't know why that's considered punchy. I hate that I'm going to have to sit through that one. And then 21 finishes with a short, well, not short, 32-kilometer time trial. So fairly lengthy, but also very flat. So 2 time trials in this one, meaning somebody like AFP is going to be pretty important with that time trialing ability, and then we'll see if Brett can hang on. But we might have to kind of focus on AFP on one like this with those 2 time trials and only a couple really hard climbing stages. If we could just about hang on and ultimately ride for him, I think he might be at a better position come the time trials on this one. But we'll see. Like I said, there's 3 leaders for this team at the moment, and we'll see if that stays the case. I'm guessing at least one of them is going to blow up pretty bad on one of these stages, and that will rule them out, and then we'll focus in on the other 2 and maybe just one at some point. We'll see. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. The only reason why I'm going for this is we need this as a major sponsor objective. This is probably the only time we actually focus on GC this year in any of the 3 Grand Tours. So big step, big test for this young group. Anyway, go ahead and hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.